Hi, I'm Kathleen.
And I'm Sean.
And you're listening to the Dead Baby Bear podcast.
Dead Baby Bear. Long story.
Yeah, we were talking to our producer, Jim, who made a studio in
everything.
his place. But now I'm really like, oh, I've got to look nice on these because lights are here.
It's sort of like it's like two little kids that are like, Dad, I want to do a puppet show.
Yeah, and he's our dad.
And so Jim's our dad, and he's building cardboard cutouts so we can put on a little puppet podcast show.
And then he gets he gets really into it and buys all this setup for your puppet show.
Our podcast should absolutely be a puppet show.
Oh, can we do one episode where we're puppets?
Yes.
Okay, once we get enough people on Patreon, that will be a Patreon-only episode.
All you care about is money.
I fucking only care about money.
We'll do it on YouTube.
Because I don't have it. We'll do it on YouTube, but we'll also only do it on Patreon.
But if you had money, you'd stop doing the podcast.
No, I wouldn't.
No?
No, I wouldn't. I'd still do the same shit I did, but in more expensive clothes. And a sensible Nissan Rogue.
You still are stuck on Nissan Rogue.
I fucking love the Nissan Rogue. And I'm not just saying this because I'm hoping the CEO of Nissan watches this and gives me a free Rogue. Because Kelly Taylor just got a deal on a RAV4.
He's an anomaly. Nobody gets the deals he gets.
Kelly Taylor is going to be on our podcast eventually.
Yeah, and he can talk about all the sponsorship deals he has.
It's great. Yeah, we can have a half an hour commercial from Kelly Taylor.
He's like an NHL athlete.
It's true. Or what are those cars that they put stickers all over and they race around the... Is he a NASCAR?
I don't know if he's like that. No, he doesn't have that stuff on his car. He just drives it.
No, I'm just saying, do they put the stickers directly on Kelly? And he just
Oh yeah. No, he would do that.
Honest to God, I would do that, but no one wants to sponsor me. I got one
sex toys?
I wish. Sex toys?
I think the sex toy industry could
use me.
Be interested.
Do you know who I'd like to sponsor us? Neutral, vodka soda, grapefruit lime, and delicious lemon.
These are pretty good.
These are so good. I've already tried to get them to sponsor me, and they're like, thank you for your question, bye. No, I don't know.
Did you try that?
I've tried before. I said, I love Neutral vodka. Please give me a sponsorship.
Where is it during a cry?
No, on Twitter, I'll just say, please sponsor me. Because I'm a loser.
Because you used to cry on podcasts.
Oh, yeah. But that's because I would sit there and talk alone for 10 minutes.
It's too sad.
And you start talking about happy stuff, and then your inside starts coming out, and you're just like, and then I hate my life.
Why can't I just... Yeah, every time I listen to one of those with you crying, I just imagine your laptop was open on your online banking screen.
Yeah.
And you were just like, how do I make $83 more than 83?
Pretty much. That's exactly what it was.
Well, I had somebody on this week who's got money? And it
was annoying. But some people and somebody's like, she's just faking it. I'm like, oh yeah, I love faking crying about how shitty my life is.
It did sound like a phony cry. Some people have a real cry that sounds like a phony like a fraud.
I'm a fucking phony fraud, so.
No, they were real cries, I could tell, but I could see how an outsider would listen and go, that's not real crying.
That's not real crying.
It was too neat, too tidy. Because you don't really have a messy cry.
No, no. I try to hide the cry.
Behind what?
Whatever I can.
Laughter.
Alcohol.
Well, you were in Kelowna this weekend. You did shows there.
Hey, guess what? You were there too.
That's right. And somebody who listened to the podcast came. One person.
One person from this podcast that is new, Sean, came and saw us specifically.
And he was an old man, was he not?
He wasn't an old man. He was probably around your age.
Shut your mouth.
So if that's an old man.
Okay, he was a middle-aged wonder man.
He was a young hunk.
Yeah. He was a silver fox.
I'm trying to find if I can find him on the Twitters. I probably should have been like, thank you.
Maybe he was a bot, even in real life. Hello, I listen to your podcast.
Oh my God, that's what they send out when you're having a good time and someone starts talking politics. It's the bot that entered.
That is a good idea.
Okay, I got really stoned before this. I didn't mean to. I'll be fine. But okay.
So what did the person who was a podcast listener say to you? After your show, did your show line up with his expectation?
Yeah, he said he liked it. He said it was good.
Like is not a strong word right
well,
after
he didn't
a show.
say I want to fuck it in the ass, but he
does. You can't fuck a show in the ass. But you'd think he would have been like, I loved it.
He did say he loved it. I don't
Okay.
remember.
All right.
But he was very complimentary and very nice, and I wish I could remember his name right now, but he is a very nice person. And
But there was also like a lot of young drunk people.
Yeah.
And you handled it very well, like an old pro.
Well, I mean, I am an old person. And I have done over 1,000 shitty bar shows in Alberta, I'm sure.
I love the way Kathleen handles unruly crowds. She'll just tell them to shut their fucking mouths. It's so great. Like if I told a group of young women like, shut your mouth, you fucking bitch. Like that's exactly what Kathleen says.
I would say, shut your mouth, you fucking bitch. And then people go, be like, I'm sorry, you whore.
Yeah. And then they're all like, I love it.
They love it. They love it. And they know, I mean, I'm never like angry, malicious. I was just like frustrated. I just want to tell my jokes without having buzzing in my ear.
Yeah. And then you were drunk.
I was drunk. Not
unprofessional.
Bad. Very unprofessional. That's what you can get. That's what you can expect from Kathleen McGee. Unprofessionalism.
Yeah. Unprofessional professional.
Yeah.
She's the unprofessional professional. It seems unprofessional, but it's quite professional. Like your show is always going very well. Sometimes you'll say like, I'm drunk. What am I doing? And the crowd just goes, I love it.
Okay, I'm going to that's partially being drunk. But I mean, if you tell people you're drunk, then they let you get away with more stuff. As long as you're not like, and then fuck this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm still, I am a functioning binge alcoholic.
Binge alcoholic.
Like I don't drink every day, but when I drink, it's like, ah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you're a high functioning alcoholic. I would say like you're a medium functioning alcoholic. Too many alcoholics go with the high function. I'm a high functioning alcoholic. Like you're functioning. You're
well,
functioning.
I'm not even a high functioning
You haven't stopped
non-alcoholic.
moving. You haven't stopped moving and laid on the grass yet, but you're not thriving.
We saw that on the way here. There was a man laying on the grass, and this lady in a wheelchair handed him his joint, and he was like, Edmonton, you're a beautiful, beautiful town.
Oh my God, a lady in a wheelchair passed him his joint, and he was laying on the grass.
Yeah, he looked comfortable.
I don't know. Was he
to
something wrong with him, or
no? He just looked really
just
high.
a guy? Was it at a property?
It was like a block that way on someone's grass.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
great. And some lady in a wheelchair, bent over.
Like, you know, like some homeless people, I'm not saying all, but some homeless people don't want to not be homeless because it's a pretty carefree life.
You think so? You think they're all? Some of them are like,
I've heard
this ain't
people
bad.
say like they've tried to help people before, and then they're just like, I don't want it, and they're like, well, but we'll give you a place to stay for 6 months and get yourself. No, I don't want to be homeless.
Yeah, I don't get that.
There are some people that do.
Usually in the summer, right? Like if I was homeless in the summer, I'd be like, nah, I'm okay. But then October 30th, I'd be like, were you offering help earlier?
Is this McDonald's hiring?
Shelters, like, I mean, I have low self-esteem, but not that fucking low.
I
Like,
don't
I
know.
belong here at the fucking Purple Seed.
I don't even know if it's a self-esteem issue. It's just some people don't want to put out effort. They enjoy, and you're either a comedian or you're a homeless person. Like we don't want to put out that much effort.
The only difference between me and that guy is my rental car. That's it. I have $300 in my Visa to get a rental car with.
But like, okay, where do you think you would be if you had as much drive as some of the annoying people in our business that have like drive and they go after stuff? Where do you think you'd be if you had that? You'd probably be
I'd be nowhere.
king of the world.
King of the world. No, because you just run into, like, what happens to people with drive is like it's harder on their self-esteem than if you just don't
if
try.
they don't succeed eventually.
Think about how many times those guys run into brick walls.
Yeah.
Where they bust their ass and they're emailing and texting all day.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the year, they're like, I didn't get any of that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck everybody. Right? You become
So it's
bitter.
good to have a less ambition in comedy.
Yes.
That's
because then I don't hate anybody. Nobody's done me wrong. I never asked them for anything.
I mean, that's a good little attitude to have.
It's like I haven't been rejected by anybody because I never sent them an email. Like I've worked with comedians that kind of try to get you into this sociopathic mindset of like, what are these people like? I'll be like, I don't want to email them. That's and then they'll be like, well, what does that person mean to you? I'm like, well, nothing. And they're like, well, just spam the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? Like they're nothing to you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're still a person. Like
I wish you had to like. I wish as comedians we had to show how we got the gigs, because I want to see which comics are emailing bookers like 20,000 times before the booker's like, okay, here,
Fucking
leave me
sure.
alone. Because somebody told them once, just be persistent.
Yeah, or they said like, oh, don't worry, you just have to keep emailing. You know, like, no, like as if bookers like that. Like sometimes people will be like, hey, can I get the information from that booker? And it's like, well, no, because then I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Then you're contacting them and saying, hi, Sean LeComber gave me this email. And now they're like, fucking Sean LeComber.
Fucking Sean LeComber.
Why would he do that? How many other people has he given my info to?
That's a funny thing in Canada, the whole vouching thing, because it's a bigger deal, I feel, up in Canada than it is in America. Because in America, they get to bring their vouch on the road with them.
Yeah.
So, like, you bring them with you, and if they suck, they suck. But you can't have... I had somebody, like, move to a new city, and then people were like, do you know, like, are you recommending this person? And I was like, no. And they had told them, Kathleen McGee loves me. And, like, Kathleen McGee said to drop her name. And I was just like...
I just say everybody's great.
Yeah, but
because it doesn't do your own research.
I hate.
If they're like, hey, what's this person like? I'm like, they're great.
I wish that we could bring whoever we wanted on the road with us, like in America. That's awesome. That's how so many comics get their breaks. So many of those guys. Well, yeah, they all start opening. Like, look at all the guys that Joe Rogan has helped.
You would want to take the same person everywhere?
Yeah, because you help that. If basically, like, I remember when I worked with Jay Okerson in Edmonton the first time, and he said, like, he brought Nate Bargatze with him. This was like a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
Nobody knew who he was. And Jay said he always brings a very strong opener because David Tell used to bring him on the road, and he'd always bring a strong opener so that the whole show is good. He's not one of those bring out the worst comic. So do that to help your friends that are coming up. But also sometimes you want to go on the road with your friends.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd take less money to go with somebody you enjoy. I think it's better to bring somebody who's horrible.
No, don't be Chris Kattan.
Don't be Chris Kattan.
Or you know who did that? Hal Sparks did that from the guy.
There's a lot of American comics that bring somebody who's just a bag of dog food, and then they get to go up and look like, Louis C.K. but pre-jerk.
Pre-jerk Louis C.K.
He's coming back on the.
I love comedy forums that start discussing Louis C.K. because then there'll always be a few like Louis C.K. will never come back, and then there's some other ones. I beg to differ. He just killed last night, but it's so funny that like, I mean, Louis C.K. himself has to find it kind of like ridiculous that like this.
He needs to do a little more press, right? Like
he needs to talk more about it. He needs to like get like some of the women have even said he needs to be like more involved in women's charities or do something to say, yeah, I'm a fucking pervert and I really fucked up. There's plenty of guys. I'm not gonna get into.
He's like a Tiger. He's a Tiger Woods, right? Where he's like He's a public figure who could not be more public, but he's a very private person who feels like he owes people nothing.
Like, why is Tiger Woods? Everyone's cool with him coming back and having. And I mean, I don't know if he sexually assaulted women or jerked off in front of women who, in my opinion, that's not sexual assault. That's sexual harassment. But anyway. But he just cheated on his wife a lot. But now everybody's like high five. He's won another golf thing, and
but he went through like a long shame cycle.
It was about 10 years. I will say it's about 10 years.
It was but he was like Louis, where he was like, I'm not telling you anything. I'm not giving you anything. I don't owe you guys anything. Yeah. Which is their right, but it makes things more difficult when you're trying to repair your image when you're not willing to give people anything. So when you just come back and try to do stand up and you're Louis C.K., but the last press release was from 2 years ago when you said, sorry, I did all that stuff, Well,
it is this weird thing because it is a lot of the people that are excited for Louis C.K. coming back are straight white men that want to be able to have free speech. It's true. Like, I was reading this one whole thing, and it was like I was looking like, oh, this is all dudes defending him, and then there's all these angry social justice warriors saying, fuck him, kill him, and all this stuff. And then they were going, well, you're just a white guy that wants to have free speech for everything. And anyway,
I think a lot of it is like non-comedians are like, who gives a shit?
No, this was like in a comedy forum.
No, I know, but I'm saying like the reason that there's most people, men or women who aren't in comedy are like, fuck it, bring them back. Yeah. Because when we watch comedy and comedians, we don't look at people's material and say, oh, that's them. We say like, material has nothing to do with who they are. It's just their material. Yeah. But like regular people would watch Louis and see all the jerk off. Yeah, they would see all the jerk off. Like half of his jokes had him like pantomiming jerking off and stuff. So when they found out that he jerked off in front of people, they weren't surprised because that's what his stand-up kind of represented in a way. So
Yeah,
only
no.
comedians were like, oh my God, I can't believe he actually did that.
Yeah, I mean, and I can't believe there were comedians that were shocked by this. Comedians that were like not in comedy when this was happening or around when. If you weren't in comedy during Lucy K, they have a very different point of view from somebody.
But you're right. Like, if you're a white straight male, it's beneficial for Louis to come back because then you can say, see, like, you know, we can do anything. We're the pendulum swinging back
Yeah.
to. And it's advantageous if you're, you know, a female comedian to invalidate what Louis done.
Yeah.
Right. If you can just move into a world where everything Louis C.K. did is irrelevant because of his actions and he's a white straight male, then that's a win for people that want to just take white straight male comedy and throw it into a shoebox and put it in the river.
Yeah.
So it is kind of a fight between two polar opposites.
It's crazy.
But Louis just needs to do, you know, what he needs is like a 5-minute joke about it where he said, you know, kind of falls on his sword or whatever and says what I did was horrible and then makes it funny.
And then lists all.
But he went the other way. He was like, "I'm going to come out. I'm not going to apologize. I'm going to do some mass
something
mass
to offend
shooting
young children, the
Right.
younger people that.
Yeah, skinny people hid behind the fat kids at the mass shooting. But I mean, that's his style. He does jokes like that.
I'm trying to think of a comedian that was like a hero when I was younger, but when I got into comedy, they were like a total sleazebag and everyone hated them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to, or any kind of person that like when you're. I can't even talk right now. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking of people that I respected when I got into it, and then I met them.
Yeah,
there's
like, that.
Ooh, this guy's a piece of
shit. Yeah. But no,
I can't really think of too many. Like honestly, like I can't think of people that I worked with, or you know, either I didn't even know them before.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oof, this guy's a jerk. But most of the people that I knew before, they ended up being really nice people.
But I mean, what would be the Bill Cosby for us? Like, because this is what I'm saying. These new kids didn't really know Louis C.K. and all of the things he did towards comedy to shape it. And anyway, but they're coming in, and so like he's a total like relic from their parents' generation. But who like what am I trying to ask here? Are they gonna like who's our version of Louis? Fuck, I can't believe that took me that long.
I don't know. Who
like
is our version? I can't even think of a guy.
Because Carlin wasn't a bad guy that we know of.
Canada's Carlin, or
can we just get you to flash on the screen? I'm telling you how to direct this again.
Yeah.
They're talking about Richard Lett.
Yeah.
Canada's George
George Carlin. He was billed as
self-proclaimed
Canada's George Carlin.
I don't understand anybody that would want to be compared to another comedian. Somebody put on a poster once, Canada for me, Canada's Amy Schumer, and I was like, can you please not do that?
Yeah, no.
Because I'm not Amy Schumer. We're not at all.
Well, it makes it sound like that's what you're aspiring to.
And it is not. And it was. So they took it off for me. But yeah, I don't want to be. Like, I know Celeste Lampa has said, like, oh yeah, people have actually asked if I know Ali Wong, just because she's an Asian comedian as well.
Yeah. Hey, you know Ali Wong? Like, do I know Ali? Yeah, like that's racist.
That's so
if they were like, "Hey, have you heard of Amy Schumer?" They would say, "Have you heard of Amy Schumer?" to you.
No, they say, "No, you remind me of Amy Schumer."
And then you say, "Thanks."
Thank you. But I'm Kathleen McGee, and I'm sure Amy Schumer doesn't want.
I don't normally like Amy Schumers, but you were like her.
God. I mean, they don't say Amy Schumers, they just say female comics. That is like the most horrifying thing to say to a female comic.
Nice.
And a lot of people think it's nice. And
I think it's cute.
I don't think usually
these are people at a
funny.
fundraiser. These are just little dudes that, you know, they're just little people at fundraisers. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
I know, but it's still like, that's not just fundraisers. This is almost every show.
You didn't hear it then. You didn't hear it in Kelowna.
I did not hear it in Kelowna. I got full respect from the Kelownaites.
Yeah, and they fed you shots.
Yeah, well, yeah, they did feed me shots. And then I was able to parlay more drinks at the end of the night because I'm a charming person.
And we had a nice hotel, the lovely Oasis Motel.
Yeah, motel. Let's put an emphasis on
a motel. And then this guy was trying to stick us in one room.
The same room together.
He's like, okay, you guys can... but he was a Muslim gentleman, right? So he was like, hey, yeah, you guys can just... It's, 2 beds in there. And then... 2
queen-size beds.
I just looked at him and I was like, think of your upbringing. You know what I mean? Like, think of your... Like, there's no way that you think this is appropriate.
Yeah.
If this is your family staying here, would you just have,
would your wife be okay with sleeping in the same room as another man? That doesn't matter.
Well, we asked the other comedians, like, did you guys have 2 rooms?
Yeah, you were smart about that.
Yes,
like, I'm not trying to, give away too many secrets, but Sean was like, check and see if Simon and Levi had to share a room, and then
Yeah,
Simon
and
said
they
no.
So we're like,
So
okay,
then we're like,
we don't
okay,
have to share a
cool.
room.
So, but we did get the motel, and they were
right.
like, here is your room, Ms. McGee. And then, like,
Mr. Lacomber, I don't see anything. Goodbye. Don't worry, there's 2 beds in the chick's room.
you know, and that is just the Oasis in experience. That's
Yeah, that's what you're looking for.
That's the-
But it's beautiful. It was nice to be there. We were only there like a day.
not even a day. We got in at 4 and we left at 6 a.m. the next morning.
Some asshole tried to screw me on pizza. You remember that?
Oh yeah, at the 7-Eleven.
We were at 7-Eleven, and this fucking piece
and
of
that
shit.
pizza was disgusting.
There's
by the
a
way.
half a pepperoni pizza in the display case.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 vegetarian slices.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Hey, I'll just put the vegetarian and the pepperoni together and get you your own full pizza."
Full pizza.
And I was like, "Well, that ain't a."
That's like 3/4
that's-
pizza.
and he's
of
like-
old pizza.
And then he goes, "Oh fuck."
He's like, well, we can make it for
And then
you.
he's bartering. He's like, "All right, the Slurpees. I got the Slurpee."
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, we had 2 Slurpees, and I'm like, so you want me to accept that this 3/4 pizza for full price, and you'll give me 2 free medium Slurpees?
I just
Like,
remembered-
where the fuck am I?
I just remembered that. I
This
I
isn't a-
remember though that I felt kind of special that a man bought a Slurpee for me.
Am I at a food truck in Calcutta? What the fuck is this? Like, I'm at a 7-Eleven. You're not supposed to be
Bartering, yeah.
bartering over the counter.
Oh, I wonder if it's like pocketing some Slurpee cash.
Well, my favorite 7-Eleven story, I was at a 7-Eleven in Calgary.
Yeah.
And it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I don't know if it'll translate on our little puppet show, but so the guy that was behind the counter working the 7-Eleven had an in training button,
Yeah.
and there was about 10 customers. Like, it was just packed. And then he's in a real frenzy. Like, he's by himself. It's probably his first night closing. And this guy comes out of the bathroom. And he closes the door, and the bathroom is pretty close. One of the 7-Elevens where the bathroom is within eye shot
Yeah.
of the counter. So the guy looks at the guy and goes, "Yo, bro, you got a big problem in there." And then the employee's like, "I'll deal with that later." And he just continues to like press buttons and process shit. And then the guy's like, "No, I mean it's a fucking huge problem." And the guy just goes, like, he just takes his deep sigh of only a person who hadn't been at 7-Eleven long could sigh like that. Like, if you'd been at 7-Eleven 4 years, you wouldn't have sighed like that.
Yeah, you'd just be like,
you would have
"Ugh."
been like, I got to deal with this now.
Yeah, I gotta go.
But this guy's sigh was like, should I leave? Like, it was like, I have 12 customers. I have a huge bathroom problem. I've only been working here 3 days. I could just fucking leave.
What was the huge problem?
There was water and shit overflowing everywhere.
Oh my god! Because
Yeah.
of that guy's shit.
I don't know. I think it's, you know how people they'll wash their hands with some 9-ply,
Yeah.
you know, and then they throw it in the toilet at 7-Eleven and flush it. So, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was, so it was all coming up shit and water. And
Oh
it was
my
just
God.
spouting out, and he went in there and dealt with it. He just put that little cone, that little yellow
Yeah.
caution cone in front of it and dealt with it.
That's it.
And then every customer walked out.
Oh my
Customers
god.
were like, fucking forget it.
Yeah, but you were gonna 7. Like, that's the thing is, like, I don't think. I mean, I had to clean up shit off a wall in a Starbucks once, and I
Wait a
said,
minute.
because a homeless man came in and like.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, like, after that, I even said to my manager, I'm like, I'm never doing that again. I'm never cleaning up piss, puke, shit. I'm not cleaning up. That's not why I'm here. And if I have to clean up again, I fucking walk. I never have to do anything
I'm not
nasty
here to
again.
fucking take care of your ass
But
frappies,
sometimes it just happens. Like, at my restaurant that I work at the other day, I was down on my break, and then I come back up, and the other server's like, you are so lucky you were downstairs. This kid just, like, puked all over her. And she had to clean it up. And I was like, what? Well, I would have panicked. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, you shouldn't have children.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Because they puke all the time.
They're pukers. They definitely do. What dogs puke too, though.
Yeah, but I don't know. For some reason, my dog will go under the covers at night and get overheated, and then just be like, "I'm gonna puke," and you can just hear that under the covers, that dog alarm.
Yeah.
So then he was doing that, and so I'm like, get up, and I didn't want to like throw him off the bed, so I picked him up and placed him. I'm like, don't squeeze his tummy too hard.
I would put him in a hockey bag and close it. And then let him puke in the hockey bag, and then I would open the hockey bag, pull him out of it. And then he knows, you puke, you're going in the fucking hockey
Oh my
bag filled with puke. If you want to puke, you're puking in a bag filled with your own puke already.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's
I'm not a very good pet owner, though. Like, I had a cat that died of cancer.
But I'm not a good pet owner.
Because listen to this. My cat, you know how you know when a cat has cancer? It has black lips.
For real?
Yeah, because it starts to, like, it coughs up blood, and then the blood, crusts to their lips. They have black lips. So when your cat or dog has black lips or whatever, you know it's got some horrible cancer.
Oh my god.
So my cat, I was like, it would like meow and stuff, and I'd be like, shut the fuck up. What is wrong with that fucking cat? And then it took like 3 weeks for me to be like, why does it have black lips anyway? And then I Google it, and it's like, your cat has pancreatic cancer, stage 4. And then I'm like, shit. So I took it to a vet like the next day, and they were like, oh, this cat doesn't even have blood pressure.
Oh my god.
This cat doesn't even have a pulse.
And you
basically.
didn't even notice
And I was
anything?
like, yeah, and leading up to it, I was like, shut that fucking cat up.
Oh my god. What was the cat's name?
Zeddy. It was called Zeddy, yeah.
Okay.
It was a nice cat.
Yeah, Zeddy, we're respecting you up there in the heaven of cats.
In kitty cat heaven.
Kitty cat heaven. Oh my
It was
god.
a mistake.
That's so sad.
Yeah. I like the cat, but it was like I was too dumb to know that there was some. And it was a fluffy one, so I didn't know that it was getting skinny and starving.
Oh yeah,
to death.
sometimes they don't. You have to touch them actually
Yeah.
to feel that. And
You have to. Who touches cats, right? So I wasn't near it. So it was just kind of. It stayed fluffy, but then I noticed its coat had lost some sheen.
And it started to cough up blood.
Yes. Old Black Lips Houlihan over there.
Oh, black lips. Oh my! What happens if your kids' lips are black?
They're just getting ready for a blackface party. That's all. It's not a big deal. I mean, Halloween. It's
You could
Halloween.
have said goth.
Goth. I could have said goth.
Yeah, instead of
Actually, I
blackface.
think blackface has white lips. I could be wrong on that. Like a proper blackface has white lips
Why?
to accentuate the black face.
Oh my god.
I don't even know what I'm talking about, really. But my grandma used to make golliwogs and pollywogs.
What are those?
They're knitted racist dolls. Yeah, and they're called golliwogs.
Okay,
And,
but what was the point of them?
to be racist and be cute, Like
To
if
be
you go to a
cute and
British
racist.
home, Nana's always.
They're from England?
Yeah, so Nana's always had like shelves filled with golliwogs and pollywogs. And they're just basically a racist-looking knitted doll. And they would have them in like red sweaters with green, like jeans.
What?
And they would have a black face with white lips and white eyes, and then big frizzy hair, and then like a funny little coat.
That sounds horrifying.
She actually won a prize for best knitting at the Legion in Fort Saskatchewan.
Best golliwogs?
They didn't know it was a racist doll.
In Fort Saskatchewan? What year was this?
1986, I believe. She
86,
had the
okay.
ribbons, because I still have some of the golliwogs.
Oh,
And they have ribbons on them from like Fort Legion winner, best racist doll.
oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh
they're
my
cute.
Lord.
They are cute.
They're not like mean or anything.
They're not mean. I can show you a good solid.
Yeah, do it on your phone. Search that on your phone.
Oh fuck! There's way worse shit on this. This is not gonna. Gollywog.
Oh my god.
There you go. You're gonna love this image.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god. It kind of looks like a comedian.
It kind of looks like a comedian.
It has a little bow tie. That's
Yeah,
horrible.
they're kind of cute.
It's like Raggedy Ann, but not.
Yeah.
That's horrifying. Though.
Raggedy racist.
Raggedy racist.
They're kind of cute and fun, right? They have bow ties, they have red pants, they have red lips and white teeth, and beautiful black hair.
Oh my god.
You can comb it out or leave it frizzy.
Wow, British people, come on.
Look at that fucking thing.
Jesus, and that was for a child?
Yeah, kids are supposed to play with it.
Oh my god.
There was probably a TV show on the BBC Two for 20 years. Hello, I'm a gollywog.
Oh my god.
Francine, you're a gollywog too.
And what's the other one? Pollywogs?
Yeah. What is the pollywog?
Yeah, what
I
is
don't know if
It's a
I
polyamorous
just remember.
gollywog.
I just
It's
remember
a gollywog with 10 wives.
pollywog. That's a good one, Kathleen. Oh no, a pollywog is an animal or something.
An animal.
Yeah, it looks like pollywog is like some kind of weird toad.
But it's a doll?
Nope.
Oh,
just a real toad.
Isn't a pollywog like... No, that's a
pollywog.
So it's like before, it's like when it's tadpole to gollywog. I think that's a thing.
Right.
I mean, I failed a lot of biology classes, so I could be wrong.
Yeah, so I'm talking straight golliwogs here. Those are fun. We should have a gollywog knitting contest. We should. Why not? Let's see your gollywog skills.
Oh my God! But we would have to make. No, we couldn't do that. We could not do that at all.
All right, fine. But what if I bring one of my grandma's ones, and then we can put it here and have it resting?
No, I don't want.
As part of our, we could have like a little junk. We could have like little trees, and then a couple gollywogs.
Oh my God!
Holding microphones.
Oh my God! Well, I mean,
they look like comedians.
They do, though. They were dressed nicely. Like, they look like a comic in the 80s or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know.
So were you convinced to move to Kelowna or Vernon, or you're still moving to the East Coast?
No, I love the East Coast just because it's... But then you think about it, there's no winter in Kelowna. There's the winter out on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Like, they have a little bit of winter. Kelowna is so nice, but it does get really hot there.
I like the spot between Vernon and Kelowna, sort of that Lakeview area.
Yeah.
But it just fills you with rage.
Yeah, with all those mansions, and you're just, instead of people being like driving by like, oh, I aspire to be like them one day, Sean and I are like, fuck those
that
people.
Piece. I would love to burn that into the river.
I hope that house burns down in the next forest fire.
With the kids all in it. Mom and dad lived, the kids stayed home.
Oh my God.
They went out for a date. They went out for a rich millionaire date, and they left their kids at home, and the whole thing went chimney red.
They were walking up to the house with their keg leftover bag.
Like, oh, all you got left is money. That's okay.
Oh my God. Money is...
Jesus took your kids. No, he did. He needed them
Okay,
to...
this is... We're gonna have to... Like,
he needed them to build a pony playhouse.
We are going to get people that, like, listen to people that tweeted, say, listen to this fun podcast, and they're going to tune in
What?
Golliwogs. They're talking about who these two white people are talking about golliwogs. Oh, my God.
We're not going to have any listeners that aren't white, Kathleen. That's the thing. That's the beauty of our podcast.
Jesus Christ.
If you're a person of color and you tune into this for 8 seconds, it's off. Like, think about a black woman going, what in the...
Hey, that is stereotyping that all black women would have be offended by this. That's not true.
You're right. You're right.
Okay.
Some of
Maybe we should not air this episode. Or
what are
maybe
you talking about? This is the best one we've ever
we'll
done.
do the Patreon only. Super.
You can't give this to the Patreons.
There's 3 of them, and
we're trying to bring down the Patreon key with our fucking shitty gollywog cast.
Oh my God! Oh my God! We didn't. Okay, we saw a live baby bear.
We did see a living baby bear.
Yeah,
We were going down Highway 1, and it was alive, fully alive, but we were kind of hungover.
Yeah, I wasn't. You weren't either. Don't lie.
Well,
to
we were
people.
listening to the Peter Oldring podcast.
Yes, we were.
Now, that's an actually good podcast.
That's an actually really good podcast.
Speaking of things that are way better than what we're doing,
Yeah.
Peter Oldring's podcast is fucking funny. He's pretending to be like one of those like energy, motivation, business,
Yeah.
money things.
Was
and
it
he's
Dexter Gruff?
Dexter Gruff.
Gruff is smarter than you. It's the
it's
best.
very funny. He's interviewing people that he just wants to have sex with. Like it's just
I don't think that's all.
No, but it's-
you just listen to a lot of female episodes, though.
right.
But yeah,
the character in it
Yes,
is
yes, yes,
pretending
yes.
that he cares about these women's ideas.
Yeah.
And then he just is like, hey, you want to go out later? And they're like, no. And then the interview just devolves into like, all right, fucking get out of here then.
Because it's amazing. Like, I love how they have, like, he's, like, this character that can't get laid, that does nothing, but he's a motivational speaker. It's fucking the way
And what
of
is
the
this
world.
thing like thought dogs? He's like, I'm gonna throw some thought dogs at you.
you.
And then he goes, I'm gonna go into the thought. What is it? The
Thought palace.
The thought palace. And he just has this long, rambling 10-minute thought.
Yeah. It's
in-
fucking
inside
hilarious.
an actually different room.
Yeah. It's fucking hilarious. It's the best. He's so funny. Yeah, we were listening to that one. And that's when we found out about Chin's Italian restaurant.
That's right. Chins.
Chin's.
He just keeps saying, me and my friend, a famous actor. Oh my God.
That's an emergent. Is that a security alert? Is
That's
that an
an Amber
Amber
Alert.
alert?
Let's go from Golliwogs to an Amber Alert.
Amber alert.
I don't think we've talked enough about dead kids yet.
I'm like sweating
What
under
is that
these
about?
lights. I'm
I'm
sweating.
not
a lot.
paying I'm not paying for these fucking lights. Kathleen's frying over here.
Look at me. I'm like tanning. I'm
Yeah,
getting
you
a
can't be
tan.
next to a black sheet like that.
Woo.
Like,
That
you're
is
just
hot.
fucking-
That is hot.
You are cooking too.
Do we look better now, although?
No.
No, it's actually worse because there's a lot more lighting.
This will be the last one where they'll be like, "Oh my God, that's crazy! I remember I finally saw a podcast from before you guys had 9 gollywogs." Like, this is going to be the pre-Gollywog podcast era. Think about that.
We're not doing a Gollywog.
We are doing a knitted montage of Gollywog faces right behind us, and underneath it's going to say Kathleen McGee supports this level of ignorance and bigotry.
Oh my God. No, I don't want to do it.
Okay, we won't.
I don't
Fine, we'll skip it.
Yeah, we will skip it. We will skip it for sure. But people came to our shows in Kelowna.
Yeah, but I mean, they would have come to see anybody. They would have come to see.
But they left being like, phew, we picked a good one.
That was lucky.
Yeah.
We dodged a comedy bullet.
We
We dodged a huge comedy bullet.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, they have it set up really well. The room
Yeah.
is like a capital T. It looks ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like
what did you say when you got on stage?
We're in the capital T room because it was the capital T. There was like
Yeah.
straight across you and then an alleyway down in front of you. It's kind of a weird setup, but
Yeah.
you know, the people that go there are so used to it that
Yeah.
it's like it's not weird.
That's the only stage I've fallen off of doing stand-up.
Yeah, it's very much like when I go to my grandma's and see 100 gollywogs, and it didn't bother me. It didn't bother me, Kathleen, because that's just what my childhood felt like. I got so used to a gollywog world that I never thought, hey, Grandma, what is the deal with all these racist dolls? I didn't say that. I just lived in that world. So that was a lot like
Is your grandma
Dakota's.
still with us?
Oh, no, she's perished.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Did she take any of the polywogs with her?
No, we got to keep those. That would have been great, like open casket and just her and 19 gollywogs.
Just bury her with her favorites.
I can't believe the gollywogs are gone.
Oh my God, I hope people
I just saw them yesterday. They seemed fine. People mourned the gollywogs, you know what I mean? They didn't. My grandma was a bit of a wonker, but everybody missed those wogs.
Hey, you know what? Everybody's got grandparents that say something completely off color, and you're just like, whoa.
What was I talking about in the car about, like,
Oh, yeah,
the
how
white
these-
male, the white
yeah.
male. I love it when like feminists are like, fucking, it's time to bring these white straight males down a notch or two. And then all of a sudden you see a picture of them like, I love being here with Opa. He's so filled with wisdom and grace. I'm like, that's the guy you should be shitting on.
That's Opa. Opa was probably he probably was fucking his secretary after
For
the
sure.
time.
He trapped your grandmother in a loveless marriage for 40 years.
Your Opa was Don Draper. He
Yeah.
was a terrible man.
And you're like, he's just so filled with wisdom and I love it. And then you're shitting on all these like 29-year-old white straight
Yeah,
males that
that's true.
didn't even get to drink all of the soda.
That probably have not uttered as much racism as your grandfather.
No, your grandfather was like, don't let them move in here.
Yeah.
Like he smacked a Remax guy in the face like, why are you bringing them over here to look at this? You know what I mean? Like he was the guy that kicked a realtor in the face for bringing people of color to look at a bungalow near his home. You know? And then you're like, I love my Opa.
He's such a wonderful man. Yeah, it's true.
Something people have to think about.
It is something people have to think about.
Because
I
when you think about like all these old white guys that make decisions in like whatever the fuck, you know, like in Alabama.
Texas. There's that Texas group. It was like just a picture of like Texas town bans abortion, and it's
then you
just a
see
bunch
the
of old
age.
white men with their hands up like this.
Yeah, but they're all super wise and fun Opas.
Oh my God, they're all Opas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For every one of those guys, there's like 9 white chicks that are like, I just love spending time with my grandpa because he's so wise.
He's so wise, and he recently just voted to take control of my body.
Yahoo!
Yeah. That is very odd.
Yeah.
But
But
like
they get a pass. The
but
old
some
guys get a
people's
pass.
grandpas were not awful.
No, but I mean, they still got to drink from the cup of white male privilege.
That's
they still
true.
got until their cup runneth over.
That's true.
They were living life like being a white straight male in the 70s and the 80s. Like,
Oh my
fuck,
God.
what a dream come true.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to fuck everything.
I don't think that's how it went. But
Well, even the stuff that didn't fuck you, you were like, oh,
I could have.
I could have done it.
Could have.
Who are you gonna tell?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So he had the hammer.
Can I have another neutral vodka soda in
Are they
whatever
good?
flavor you choose? Thank you, Neutral, for sponsoring this
Man,
Pollywog.
I'm fucking this gollywog.
Gollywog podcast.
Well,
Oh
I
my
think
God.
I'm not the only person that knows what gollywogs are, right?
There's 2 other people in the room. Do you know what gollywogs
Adam, have
are?
you heard of gollywog?
You ever-
He's
He's seen them before.
You've never held one.
I've never held a gollywog.
I don't know. I mean, I've fallen. Have you? They had them? Did they make them or they just bought them? See, that's worse. My grandmother was a creative genius.
She was an artist.
She made the Golliwogs.
She wasn't just a racist.
His grandparents fucking got them at Ricky's. Yeah, he owned the. We made them. He owned them. It's a little different. So, anyways.
I hope everybody understands this is a comedy podcast, and we're just saying stuff to have fun.
Oh.
Okay, good.
I love how when you're on stage, you're like, I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care. Tell them. And then in a podcast, you're like, I hope you guys know that this is not serious. I do love my grandpa, and I do hate racism.
I do love my grandpa, though. My grandpa has also passed.
May he rest with Golliwogs. May he eternally hold the wog hand.
It's hard to think of your grandpa as being a terrible person.
No, he's probably not a terrible person, but he had privilege up the wazoo.
Oh, but everybody's done something like gross. Nobody on this planet hasn't done something that's stupid.
Really? You think there's people out there?
Oh, except for maybe Jesus. What are you talking like?
No, well, Jesus was perfect.
Nobody's perfect, Sean.
Even
Haven't
Jesus?
you ever read that Garfield essay, Nobody's Nerfect?
Nobody's Nerfect.
By Garfield, the cat.
See, the way you started that, I thought, this is going to be racist.
No.
Nobody's. And I was like, whoa, Kathleen's getting into golly talk.
No. How is that going to get racist if it's a fucking orange cat?
But I didn't know it was a Garfield quote.
I just said.
Okay, so Nobody's Nerfect.
Nobody's Nerfect.
That's right. So everybody's makes
Or was it
mistakes.
Ziggy?
And
Maybe
some
that
people
was a
can't
Ziggy.
even spell.
That's true.
They're the worst.
I think I am dyslexic, and I think I have ADD, and I would like some Adderall
You might have
to
AIDS
try it out.
DD.
AIDS DD. AIDS jokes have really come out of favor. Like they're not even
They really have?
funny at all anymore.
Well, I think you could do an AIDS DD joke where you're like,
AIDS
I
DD
have,
could make it
I
funny.
think I have AIDS DD.
Yeah.
Yeah, AIDS DHD. I think I have ADHD where like I keep, I always, right before I have sex with a woman, I forget I have AIDS.
Oh my God, this is the funniest, most awful podcast ever. But whatever.
See, that makes sense, right?
That does. No, it makes sense.
See, here, Jim, listen to that. See if you like. She could say like, I have AIDS DD, which means I always forget I have AIDS right before I have sex with a guy.
That's pretty funny.
You know?
But
And then surprise, he's got AIDS DD.
I'm always worried of like getting called out by somebody, but then I'm like, what career are they gonna ruin? Like it's gone.
Yeah.
I don't have a career, so
Well, what are they? Nobody's listening to it.
nobody
Like, the thing
except
about-
for 12 people who have given us a 5-star review. Oh wait, no, somebody gave us a 4.
Are you worried about that? That
No,
concerns you? It's gonna
I
get
just
way.
think it's funny.
It's gonna go way worse from there.
I bet you we're gonna get a lot of ones, especially after this episode. Oh my God.
300 views.
Listens on iTunes.
Listens.
Oh, exciting. That's good. 300. Thank
Oh.
you to 300 people or one person that has no life.
Yeah, I think I know who they are. I think I could name all of them.
Yeah, we could name all of them. I think people are going to listen to this and then stop listening after this episode.
What about Wendy McGee? Wendy's on board.
Wendy McGee, my mother, did give us a review.
How many stars?
I don't know if she had a star system, but
No.
and this is a total Wendy thing to do. She's like, it's good, but don't talk about killing babies.
Yeah, but I mean, I think you were back. Was it you that was brought up baby killing?
Yeah, but we were
See,
talking
you're
about
killing me on Golliwogs. It's
No,
just a
but-
doll, but you actually referenced killing children.
But I was talking about how horrible it is, not how sweet it
Yeah.
is that my grandma
Actually,
did it.
earlier this podcast, I talked about killing children, so that's fine. And how I wanted them to die.
Oh my God.
So what was it called again? Filicide?
Filicide. Yeah, let's talk about it again to make sure Wendy stops listening.
Yeah, let's snuff Wendy's listenership right out.
Yeah.
Make sure in case she's still listening at this point. If Wendy McGee is still listening to this podcast, it means she fell on the floor and she cannot recover. And she can either reach her heart pills or the stop button.
And she hits the stop
and
button.
she goes stop button and dies. But she
Oh
could have
my
gotten the
God.
heart pills. But
She could have.
it was more important to
But
shut
she'd had
this
enough
piece of
of
shit off.
Yeah, she
No,
had enough.
Wendy, you're going to live forever, and I love it.
Forever and ever.
Yeah.
We're all going to live forever. I can't wait. Actually, I can't wait to die. And that sounds, no, I can wait.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
But but I'm not afraid of dying. Are you afraid of dying?
Well, yeah, you'd be afraid of all the things that go with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess I'd be afraid of dying from a terminal thing.
Yeah, like all of a sudden, like we've talked about this before, where you need a lot of time to say your goodbyes, so you need a terminal illness. Right.
Need a terminal.
You can't just get hit by a bus, because then everybody will be like, oh, I didn't get to say goodbye to Kathleen. Like, so you're going to need
I'm not good at the Irish goodbye.
No, but you don't want like some cancer where like she might make it. You want one where it's like, ba-bow,
yeah.
Kathleen's going to be a goner.
Everyone wave goodbye.
Yeah, so they come to your hospice and you guys play one last game of crib.
What am I, 87?
Yeah. You're not going to die now.
Oh, okay, you're talking about later.
Yeah, way after
All
you
right.
get into crib.
After, in your 80th year, you will get into crib, and you will love it, and it will help you with your math skills. That's why I hate crib right now.
Yeah, I should get a job. I should do like, I was thinking about, what could I do? I could be a flag person.
You could be a flag person, but remember we're going to write a TV show together?
That's right.
So,
well, but I can do that while I'm flagging.
Yeah, you can flag and write.
Yeah, I can flag and write a script. But I was thinking about flagging. That's not bad,
It's
right? Where
money,
you're like stop and yield and stuff.
It's probably really good money, actually.
23 or something.
Do we know any flaggers in the crowd? Can anyone in Alberta hire Sean to flag?
I wouldn't mind flagging.
Didn't one of our friends, Kendall, used to do road painting? That always seemed like fun. You just sit in a car and paint the road lines.
That wouldn't be bad. But I thought a machine did that.
Yeah, but you drive that machine.
Oh, but no, then I would fuck that up. Then there'd be like,
I love when you see a fuck up and
those are
and they're
great.
like paint all over the road.
Yeah, somebody sneezed and then this fucking head-on collisions for a day.
For a day until they can fix it. we'll come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
And fix it.
I just follow the lines right to my death. I'm all about rules.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. That would be a good job. That's how I like, cause that's the kind of beauty of not like you don't need a big job, right? Like you don't have to go and find like a super good. So I just go places where either I like the food or I can get a discount, and like, so I'm always this like 38-year-old woman working with 24-year-olds, and they're all like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like,
but they also say like, you don't even look 38.
They do sometimes,
right.
And I really appreciate it.
Yeah, so they fill your jeans with self-esteem because they're like, you're not 38, but you know they don't mean.
They're like, you're 40.
38, like, yeah. Have you ever managed? No, I don't want to.
I don't want to.
That's the next thing. You can kind of you can dip your toe into the work world.
Yeah.
Where you're not managing anybody,
Yeah.
you're not delegating anything.
And I don't have to do a job where I'm going to like take it home and be like, oh my God, now I got to worry about talking to tomorrow and making this.
know.
So I just like, that's the beauty.
No emails to answer.
I've like every job I've ever had, they're like, would you like to be a shift supervisor? Would you like, no. The least level amount of responsibility. I never want to be on call. That's the thing.
Well, on call's okay because you get paid.
Oh, you do, but no,
yeah.
like not like I'm not at Starbucks. So, like if you're an on-call manager, you do not get paid an hourly wage.
Around,
no, but no, my brother's friends too. Like, oh, this is what you should do. So sometimes they do hot shotting. So one day he was like, hey, can you drive to like the Yukon or the Northwest Territories Alberta border with this tiny package, and we'll give you like, I think they were saying like $1,000 or something plus travel expenses. And I was like, I had shows that weekend, so I said no. But then I'm like, that would be like not bad if like during the week you just hot. But I don't mind driving.
No, but I was a courier pre-Google, like pre-Google Maps.
Oh,
and I was so fucking horrendous.
Yeah.
Like, because I would be like, okay, 48th and 97th, and then I'd get off, and they'd be like, no, that's Northwest. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Where? I would get lost like fucking all day.
Yeah,
every
you can't
day.
do anything without Google Maps. When someone comes up to me in the streets and they're like, do you know where this building is? I'm like, do you not have it on your phone? Like that part of my brain is pretty much gone. I know where I could get to like as a kid, like you just know where to go, but like
I think I have a good sense of direction, but then my phone dies and I make one wrong turn and I'm lost for 18 minutes. And then I realize I don't have a good sense of direction at all.
Yeah. No, like I can't, like if you just said I live at like 16422
I don't know what that
80th
means.
Avenue, I'd be like, I have no idea where that is.
Don't know. Yeah. You're going to have to give it to me and I'll put it in my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens all the time. We're like, oh, you know that. That's just on 83rd and 97th. And I'm like, oh, I have no idea. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, where you're talking about.
I don't even know what side of the city that is.
I'm dyslexic. That's going to be my excuse for everything.
Are you dyslexic?
I think so. Because one time I was working with this comic, and he saw my tattoos on my feet, the left and right tattoos, and he's like, do you really, like, you really can't distinguish left and right? I'm like, I really can't. Like, I have to go, like, left. But now I have my feet. So just look at my feet. But, like, if I would need to go left, I had to do this. This is the L.
What? Really?
I was so bad at left and right. And then he's like, do you like this? He's like, do you like, fuck you.
That's really stupid.
But I just, no, like, but, you know, did you never have to
Take
do
a right.
this? Did you never? No, I'm not talking about when you're. Fuck you.
Hey, Kathleen, I'm right over here to your right. Who has to fucking, you just got a little compass, like one of those little shaky, right, which way is that?
In the car. I just mean like when I was a kid, I always had to do this to figure out which way was left when I was a kid and stuff.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah, when you're a child.
Yeah, and then he's like, do you like talking on the phone? And I said, no, I really hate talking on the phone. He's like, can you read a full page of a book without having to go back? And I'm like, no. He's like, I think you're dyslexic. Because I guess that's a lot of the things that dyslexics have problems with is, well, and it's concentrating too. Like everybody, and when people are like, I have ADD, I always believe them. Because there's no way that you wouldn't, like, we're all
So it's
ADD
the opposite
now.
of whiplash.
What, you never believe people that have whiplash?
Do you? Like, are you fucking for real?
I knew somebody whose job
I have
it was
whiplash.
to follow people around that had, like, insurance claims, like on 2020. But she did this for real.
Oh, no, yeah, it's
and
legit.
she just had to, like, go and, like, so someone would be
That's
like,
fucking
oh, I
sweet.
have, like, a broken neck. And then they'd go to the, like, they'd follow him, and he'd be going to Home Depot and, like, carrying 2x4s around. And
Yeah,
like,
or you see him in fucking Cologne on a zip line. Like,
I
whoa.
just, like, so what do they do? Do they call you and they're like, so, you really want that insurance still? And
Well,
then
no,
you have to, and then then do you ever get to see that video of you being a total idiot?
I don't know. Yeah, you would see it in court, I guess.
Oh, because they would
Like-
take you to court. Or could you just be like, okay, you got me, stop paying me and don't get
Well,
mad?
because I had a friend who had his foot run over by a forklift and did a bunch of nerve damage to his foot.
Oh, no.
But then he was on WCB for a long time, and then he was able to kind of manage his foot pain. Like, he was a goalie in road hockey. Like, we'd play road hockey all the time, and he was a goalie. So we would always
Just
go.
stand there.
We would go to the tennis courts that had these blackout curtains all around it.
Yeah.
Because he was afraid that somebody from WCB would be there snapping pictures of him, like, fucking making saves.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be.
But I wouldn't mind that job. I wouldn't mind being the person that, like, takes pictures
Yeah,
of
that'd be
people
fun.
that are
Unless
like.
somebody catches you and beats the fuck out of you.
I guess they would, wouldn't they?
That could
'Cause
happen.
that's their livelihood.
Yeah.
But I would catch them like, jeez.
I
I would
guess-
be like, fuck you. Like, I would
Yeah.
catch them and let them know that I was there.
Would you ever be one of those servers where they like pass you a shot in the comber and you're like, yes? And I'm like, you've been served.
You've been
I
served.
would do that for sure.
You would do that?
Wouldn't that be fun?
I guess so, but it's sad. I think the WCB one would be fun because you're catching them in a fun moment. They're on a diving board, like, yeah, like they don't know you're there. They're just having a blast. So they're going off a diving board, like, yahoo! And you get 83 pictures of him in that moment of total fun.
And then they just email him that picture in a frame, just so you know.
And it's him smiling
But
on a
here's your
wakeboard.
souvenir. We're glad you're better.
Yeah, wish you were here. Wish
Yeah, I
you were
would
still
love to-
wish you were still eligible for benefits. It's
Oh my
they
God.
send you a postcard and it just
Yeah.
says wish you were still eligible for benefits, and it's a picture of you on a wakeboard that somebody snapped. I would get some good photos of them doing fun things.
I would like to do a television show where I just serve people.
What about repo? Could you do repossession?
No, because I was like, that's scary. Someone repossessed a car of mine once. I was in Toronto and I couldn't make the payment, so I just was like, I don't know what happens. I was young and stupid, and I was like, whatever.
What
So-
happens when you don't pay?
Yeah, I don't know. And then I would get calls, and then one day I get a call, and I was actually at Spirits. I was on stage at Spirits. And
Oh,
I got
really?
I'm like, oh, I think they're repossessing my car. So I called them back, and then they were like, can you please come home and give us the keys to the car? And I'm like, I'm out right now. Well, you need to come home and give us the keys to your car. I'm like, you're repossessing my car. I'm not going to make it simple for you, buddy. He's like, well, I got to drive all the way back to Mississauga. And blah. I'm like, okay, bye. So then I was like, I'll put my key on the tire. And if it's there, it's there. And you can take it. And he took it. But
That's kind of nice of you.
I was sad.
So do we have something to eat before this is over?
Yes, we do. We got to
the
get.
Gollywog
Can
episode's
somebody
over?
get the special foodie? This is the foodie.
What are we
portion of the
doing? Like
podcast.
fast foodies, right?
Fast foodies.
So this is like a grilled cheese sandwich with ice cream.
Mm-hmm. It's like a grilled cheese sandwich, 2 grilled cheese sandwiches with ice cream in the middle of it from Burger's Priest, which is good. They're in Toronto. They're in Edmonton. They're fucking. Can you like cut it? Thank you. I'm being so rude.
Can you like cut it?
Can you cut it out?
Well, it's funny how you're able, like how you're allowed to talk to like your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. Like,
Did that sound mean? Was that rude?
no, it was just that's how you talk to somebody that you're that familiar with.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with him. I've
Like
seen
if
his
Jim, if that was
penis.
Jim, you would have been like, "Can you cut that, please?" But because it was Adam, you're like, "Fucking cut it, cut it."
Cut it. Cut it out. That's what Dave Coulier was talking about.
So you've already won.
Okay, so yeah, Adam bought me my own little one, and I won $5. So this is a new one. We need a coin maybe too. I don't know.
We do this
You
every
can't.
fucking
You
time.
can't
I
scratch.
can't scratch
Last
it.
time
I'm
you
a very
fucked
bad
it up
scratcher.
so bad. Hello Summer went up to $20,000. I figured that this would be a good one because it's summer, right?
It is
so
summer.
They have lots of prizes in this because this is a limited edition game. So
Oh my
and here it
goodness!
is. Oh
Look
my
at
God.
this.
Thank you, Adam. You're
Ooh la
wonderful.
la.
Oh my God. Okay, can we look at this
This is
thing?
insane.
Okay, this is like oh my God, and it's messy.
It's like a. Look at this.
Oh my God, you need napkins. Oh, there's here. Put. Oh my God. It's been cut. Oh my God, it's a grilled cheese sandwich, ice cream sandwich. Oh my God. We'll have to give some to Jim. It's called Burger's Priest. It's amazing. They have them in Edmonton and in Toronto. They're not even sponsoring us, and we're just giving them some free advertising. But they have like these. So they have the Vatican burger, and it's like a burger around 2 grilled cheese sandwiches. And this is the Vatican ice cream sandwich. Look at cheese, bread. Is it good?
It's surprisingly very good.
Oh my God.
You would think ice cream would ruin a grilled cheese sandwich.
No, it makes it better.
How the hell is this possibly enhancing? Who the fuck dreamed this up?
Somebody that was high. I guarantee you somebody was really high.
Somebody's like, hey, you know what we should put in a grilled cheese sandwich? Ham. And then somebody's like, fuck ham.
ice cream.
Ice cream.
It is surprisingly fucking delicious. I don't know if you're going to get any, Jim.
That's really good.
I would love to. I would love. Look at it. I can't even.
Did you want some, Jim?
Oh
He
my
actually
God.
doesn't even want it. He's an idiot.
Fucking Christ.
This is really good.
Come on, I hope we get a screenshot of me like, oh.
This is why it would help for us to know things about food, because all we're doing is like, this is good. This is good.
We know stuff. we know about food.
Yeah. But we can't talk about
You
it.
know why it's good, though? Because it's soft and crispy.
And the grilled cheese is buttery. Like it's really a buttery grilled cheese sandwich.
My palate's going crazy right now.
Yeah, this is insane.
Um,
I'm going to go home and eat lasagna with apples on it or something. I'm just going to fucking mix flavors up.
Yeah, what's up? I really like peanut butter and bacon is good together. I like Velveeta cheese and pickles.
I'm going to go home and eat some cherry wrapped olives or something. Just 2 palate busting foods.
Cherry wrapped olives. This podcast is our best one yet.
It's our most delicious podcast. Kathleen got a little bit racist at the start with her doll talk.
With all her doll talk.
But whatever. I don't blame you. I think this podcast, it was one of those ones where like it was offensive, and you know, people who come to this podcast first will leave.
Oh, well, not stay yet.
Yeah. But if you listen to the other ones, and then you'd give us a break on this.
And that's all we can hope for.
The other podcasts were pretty funny. But
I mean,
if you hopped on our train on the Gollywog episode,
I will say there are some very offensive progressive podcasts out there.
is that right?
Yeah, where people say stuff that's way too progressive, and you're like, what? Maybe not. Maybe
Nothing's too progressive, Kathleen. People say shit that's way too progressive. Like fetuses are never babies.
All people should be aborted.
Why are we eating all of it on the podcast?
Because it's fucking good.
Well, I think we should shut it down. We've done
Okay, wait.
59 minutes, for God's sake.
Let me eat this with my hands.
Let me eat my ice cream and then do my scratch and win. This is the white trashiest podcast ever. Let me eat my ice cream and grilled cheese and then I'll do my scratch and win and then we'll stop talking.
This is a really good episode. It's gone from the worst to the best.
It was good. I would eat that again.
I would eat that again. I've never had the Vatican burger or hot dog because they do both. But I've heard that they're good. All right, there. I'll do this. Look at.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's what they're for.
Guys, stop Mikey fucking us.
Yeah, stop fucking me.
Stop titty miking me.
Hey, if more digs were like this, I'd let them titty fuck me.
Are we going to win for the first time
We might
ever?
win $2. I feel like this is a
Boom, boom.
We won $2.
We get to keep doing the podcast at Jim's house.
Woo! We can afford it now.
Give that straight to Jim.
Here you go, Jim. Thank you. Thank you for filming this for us. We need to take a picture of it.
You should do that more often, the Mike Titty thing.
Well, I guess that is.
You don't need. It's hands free.
You know what is so funny is I didn't even remember it, so I just sat back and I'm like,
All right. Well, thanks for listening, Kathleen.
Thank you for listening, Sean. And you can be one of our patrons at Dead Baby Bear. Patron.deadbabybear.
I think you were too high this time.
Too high?
Or maybe drunk.
I was a little tipsy. We had a good time, though. Was it a good one?
It was a good
In
one.
all honesty, the people
Yeah.
watching, we got 2 thumbs up, so they're saying it was good.
Yeah, so that's a 3-star review right there.
Yeah,
We're good
I'm
with
happy
it.
with a 3.
Anything over a 2 to keep this white trash podcast going.
Any fucking star.
All right. Thanks, Kathleen.
Thanks,
We'll see you
Sean.
tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.